You've unlocked a Roundtable.
Hi, and welcome to another Lost Level Roundtable review. This episode we are going to be reviewing the Transporter Refueled. With me today is Tyler.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. Chris is in Germany right now, so...
I'm joining the Wiener Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzel and cheap beer, apparently. He's been drinking a lot, which I'm really jealous of there. Alright, so as, we've been doing with these reviews... you seem amused right now.
I am very amused.
Thank you.
Just by what we just witnessed. That gift from the cinema gods to our eyes.
Right.
That thing that will be remembered for decades to come and never was on television or just cheap sequels.
Correct. So, as usual with these reviews, we're going to review it, and towards the end we're going to get into spoilers, so we'll let you know when we're hitting the spoiler section, so be warned for that. So let's get into it. Transporter Refueled is basically a reboot of the popular Jason Statham action series, The Transporter.
Yeah, it doesn't say it's a reboot, but it's clearly out with the old, in with the new. We have some new characters, namely, you could have called it Transporter Father and Son.
Right. And the movie takes place during modern day 2010.
Yeah, it starts in 1995, gives us some important yet very racist backstory of just white oppressors in the hooker game coming in hard. And then jumps 15 years later to the futuristic year of 2010.
Where they're using cell phones and Apple OSs that are modern day.
And just...
like 2015.
So maybe even a little bit farther. I mean, he had a GPS cop tracker.
Yes. This is a movie about time travelers, I think.
Time travelers to the distant future of 2010. Let's just remember that is the most important part. All of this takes place in 2010.
And let's also be clear about this. The way everybody looks in this movie does not look like they've aged 15 years from when you first see them.
No, they are played by, I think, completely either different actresses or they all get a flashback, even though it was just like 5 minutes ago, and you can put together who it was.
Yeah, they're like, this is
Everyone
this person.
Gets a lengthy, awkward flashback to who they used to be with their mullets and their their
long hair and the very 90s getup.
Grand Theft Auto 4 outfits from their Russian mob days.
It starts out pretty awfully, so it gives you a good thing of what to expect with this movie.
It's very loaded in the front with exposition and setup, as you know, a mindless car crash. Well, it is. Like they put a lot of stuff in a blender, and they're like, "Hey, this should be plot," and you're like, "Oh, I'll drink it like it is plot," and then you realize it's just like gruff voices and stubble saying a bunch of random stuff, and then you're choking on it. But at that point, there's cars on the screen, so it's okay.
Sexy cars that experience no scratches or damage whatsoever, despite hitting multiple objects. They have the
multiple objects.
They have the shield of beauty.
Yeah.
It's the pretty looking thing, and it stays pretty throughout.
Titanium, beautiful bumpers.
Yeah, just knocking off fire hydrants and not a scratch on it.
That is one thing I will give the movie. It had some great car crashes captured from multiple angles. The cop cars, they just threw those away. Just like all the Transporter movies before. They were just like, these are useless set pieces, and just basically just fire those off rockets into random
and just turn them into tissue. Just shredded tissue.
I mean, it's not Blues Brothers material, but
no, not by that standards.
The crashes are good. The chases aren't anywhere near the Bourne series, but I mean, they're still solid.
Because in the Bourne series, the chases were the crashes as well.
Yeah.
Which were great.
This was more just, hey, we're all in a car now. Hey, this looks strangely like Fury Road. Keep going, and we're here.
Yeah. If you want good car chases, go to Fury Road. If you want good car crashes, yeah, you could watch this, I guess.
Yeah, we got car crashes, and most importantly, Grey Goose vodka.
Grey Goose
Endorsed
vodka is...
by everyone in the movie, mostly prostitutes, former prostitutes, and Russian mobsters. So roll hard.
We're all the same when we drink it. Grey Goose. That's what it's telling us.
I mean, you can get some fine old aged wine, but if you got some Grey Goose laying around, I'm going to show that label.
You know, they have that wine. They don't use it. They don't drink it at all.
They don't even hit it over somebody's head, and somebody winces when the bottle breaks. You forget entirely what happened to that bottle. This isn't even a spoiler. It was there for a second, and it's gone. It plays no plot relevance.
Yeah. Right, but you think you at least seen them drinking it, you know.
Also, possibly the best character of the whole movie, who has the most emotions, would be the dad.
The transporter's father is fantastic. Played by the same guy that was in Rome.
Yeah, he was in Rome. I believe he was Titus in Rome.
Yes.
He was also the Punisher in the disastrous Punisher Warzone.
I don't think Punisher Warzone is that bad, but that's...
Disastrous Punisher Warzone.
Very self-aware Punisher Warzone.
Disastrous.
Okay.
We're about to get in an argument over Punisher Warzone.
So
You take your comic book movie and you can stuff it. Back to what we just watched.
Yeah. Basically, the dad's trying to get laid throughout the movie, and it's fantastic watching him do so.
You introduce him, say he's poor, say he's staying with his son to get to know his son, and then just let him chase puss the whole movie. After he says he left London to explain all their accents to get away from his dead wife who he put in the ground. And as soon as you accept that fact, it's totally okay.
Put in the ground as in buried. Didn't kill her.
Didn't kill her.
To clarify
Didn't kill her. As far as we know. Possible sequel? I don't know. Character turn.
It's morning fucking at this point. No, not morning. Morning with a U.
He was married to the same woman for a long time, and he may or may not be James Bond. So we're just going to let him just run through the fields of France. Just banging. Just banging.
Right.
Oh, man.
But, I mean...
We'll edit out the silences, don't worry.
The dad's the most entertaining part of the movie, and
he's
that's
barely in it. I would rather followed him around and seen what happened to him. I would have rather seen him shop for wine for 20 minutes than have the exposition.
Because he did it in such a charming manner.
Also, someone needs to explain to people how electric fires work and how long a body needs to burn to be unrecognizable.
Those bodies look like they were burning for a while.
They were toasty.
They were, like I said, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Yeah.
And you feel like they would have gotten taken care of a lot sooner, you know, considering
the whole hotel went down.
The whole hotel had fire alarms.
A much longer investigation. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, these ones had bullets in the heads. Let's question that? No, let's not. That's not.
I mean, they were clearly shot, and this other body's just here hanging out with no bullets in it.
That's not questioning.
She probably choked on semen.
We'll get more into that later. But for an action movie, like I said, car chases were meh.
Yeah.
Car crashes were cool.
Car crashes were good. The car chases were... it was like watching somebody who's not as good as us play Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'm pretty bad. So that's just like a reference. Like, I can hit trees and dodge cops, and it felt like he could do neither. But I did get a chance to count on my hands the amount of times it cut to his angry brows.
How many times did it happen?
In the first car chase, it was at least 12.
Oh my god.
And he did his best to do, like, his gruff Jason Statham voice. I mean, he wasn't terrible.
No.
Snaggletooth Jr.
Snaggletooth was very distracting.
He was a pretty good replacement. I liked him on Game of Thrones.
Who was he in Game of Thrones?
He was the Merc leader, the one who kills the other Merc leaders, and he's like, "I've killed all my friends, so I can bang you." And she's like, "That might not have been the best choice." And he's like, "I will prove it by killing more people." And she's like, "Oh well."
And then they were replaced, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He actually left to do this
Well,
masterpiece,
yes.
as it will be remembered for times on it.
Well, okay. Let's hope that was a good decision for him. And then there's the hand-to-hand combat, which is very Jackie Chan.
It was very in the spirit of the first Transporter, where there was like, one-on-one fights are for sissies. Let's put him against like 8 black dudes. You know, like a start of like a Sasha Grey film. Like it starts. They're all larger than him. You're worried about him. He has a look in his eye like you don't know what's going to happen, and then suddenly there's a bunch of pipes out and they're all hitting each other. It was weird.
Yeah.
You didn't even see where those pipes came from. They
No.
just appeared. I feel like there were some questionable cuts.
Well, yes, because they go into a room filled with filing cabinets they use as a weapon. Then they exit and go back to the previous room.
Where he'd been using a vacuum cleaner cord as a weapon.
Right, but looking around that room, there was only one entrance and exit that was locked. So
maybe the exit was open. I don't know.
No.
I'll give it some movie magic.
No, because there is obviously some bad editing in this movie. Like towards the end, where you're like, how did she get captured? She was with the dad and suddenly not.
We say she because we're not to the spoiler section yet. So.
Well, I mean,
we'll let you put that together.
I mean, that's a very minor detail.
There are some things they could have shown better. Mostly just shown the dad the whole time.
Right.
Because, yeah.
So,
how about things we like about it instead of just tearing it apart? The dad, clearly, always lovable. A lot of moments from Rome in that.
pretty girls, but that's to be expected from these.
Girls.
That's to be expected from these type of action
The club
movies.
scene was enjoyable.
I liked the faux dead mouse.
The Cheshire cat.
The Cheshire cat. It had a big Cheshire cat foam hat on.
I would have liked to see it.
That was supposed to be similar to that of Dead Mouse.
I would have liked to see a movie about him. It would have been fantastic as well. Possibly.
I want that to be a real DJ that I see. Hopefully he is a real DJ someday.
Right? Or maybe he is, and they just gave him like $500, and they're like, "Hey, come be in this movie.
But
no one's ever going to see
Dead
it."
Mouse is just stealing all his thunder. That's probably the case, right?
He might have been way before him.
Well, the club scene was enjoyable from the club aspect, but the events that unfold make no sense.
Well, I think the best fight might have happened there, and the best fight, in my opinion, was when he put the car in neutral.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the coolest fight because this walking forward while trying to keep up with the car. It was
a walking one-on-one, which was nice because he was not fighting just five. Larger.
It was very slick and very cool.
Yeah, that was props for that one.
Yeah,
that was good.
Probably one of the better hand-to-hand action scenes I've seen in a while. Was that one?
And then we have how are airplanes made? Because I'm pretty sure they don't have giant hallways in the bottom, but that's just me.
And that private jets.
Private jets aren't usually fat tubies, but
right.
They do have a lower area in most commercial airlines where they keep the luggage and stuff, and you can stand up down there. But it was a private jet. And it
was very commercial size.
They could have played racquetball in that little room. It would have been a good game.
And the interior of that jet did not match the exterior.
The interior of the bottom part looked like it might have been the back of an ice cream van that they converted for the scene.
Very well. Yes, I could see that.
And there's quick in the hole. Don't worry, we'll post process it. Look, there's his face. It's not green screen.
Oh.
One of the girls has the honor of being shot repeatedly, being part of a vodka commercial, and Sugar and Cobwebs, which I'm going to have to Google later and see.
I do have to see if that works.
Because I'm pretty sure. Sugar, I know you can use as an IV replacement sometimes. I think in Civil War, they used to use it. Cobwebs, I don't even know. I'd have to go ask, the Lost Boys. They used it in Armor and Hook.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I got that. I got that. At first, I thought you were talking about the vampires.
Oh, no.
But, yes.
They probably know. They had a lot of cobwebs.
Yeah, I know. I mean...
We just really want to review other movies right now.
Yeah.
What we're talking about.
All right.
It was sleek. 3 things I liked about it. The lighting was spectacular. All of the movie was really well lit, and I can't complain about the camera. The camera was actually handled pretty well in most cases. The editing, that was a problem, but the actual angles and the setup, there was a lot of good shots in it.
Good shots, good shots. I mean, I've grown tired of the shaky action cam at this point. I've seen it worse, but this one was not a terrible offender of it, but there's a decent amount of it which I've gotten over. But yes, otherwise, some really good shots in there.
And then the dad, again. It was great to see him in something big again.
I do like that actor. I wish hopefully we see more of him. I think he's coming up in something else as well.
Oh man, if only we knew his name. Like we should have done research before we did this.
Yeah, usually we have our laptop here, but we're in a park right now. Parks don't have Wi-Fi.
There's a train.
Oh, it's fine.
You'll hear it soon.
We record in bars with waitresses stopping by asking us questions. It's fine. They won't care about train. So I mean, I feel like this wrapped up a good portion of.
Can we get into the spoilers and the plot holes that we
yes.
just want to?
Okay, so we're going to get into spoilers right after, this part. So
spoiler that you won't know from the trailer.
Wait.
Oh.
Wait. Sorry, you're new to the show, so you don't know how we do this.
I don't.
So we're going to give her contact information, and then we're going to say, okay, here's our spoiler section. Okay.
Okay.
So. You can follow me on Twitter. My name there is Alex Sandberg, AlexSandberg, or you can email me directly at the website, alex@lostlevel.com. Tyler, do you have anything you would like to plug?
No, I think I'm okay. I'm on Twitter, but I don't know how to use it.
Okay, well, since you're here,
You can tweet stuff at me, and I'll just look at it confused, like an angry grandpa who's lost his pants.
Okay, well, Tyler also has a webcomic that he develops, so we're going to plug that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the webcomic is
www.underdogscomic.com.
All right.
You can watch just the most amazing thing for your eyeballs.
I have read the scripts. I have edited those scripts, and I can tell you that it is good.
Eventually.
I like where the story is going. It's going to hit some really good beats, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So definitely check out underdogscomic.com. And make sure to follow The Lost Level on Twitter. That's twitter.com/TheLostLevel. We're on Facebook.
I know how to do that one. I follow them.
Facebook.com/LostLevel. We're on YouTube as well. All our contact information is on www.lostlevel.com in the upper right-hand corner.
How long has that truck been there?
That truck just arrived there. It's fine.
There's a mystery truck.
So, yes, make sure to check out the website, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on iTunes, give us stars, review us. We'd appreciate it a lot. And now we're going to go into the spoiler section. Thank you very much. And, alright, now to spoilers. A lot of plot holes in this movie.
That was fucking terrible.
Right? Like, a lot of plot holes.
I love bad movies. And I enjoyed significant parts of this one.
Because of how bad it was.
But, like, when we were watching the movie, we just kept going over the fact that it was 2010, according to math.
According to math,
because we mathed it.
Yes, because it starts out in 1995. It says
15 years later.
Everyone looks still so young.
Everyone basically has new haircuts, which, okay.
That happens.
And one of the actresses has been replaced entirely, because they were like, oh, she was like Jodie Foster age from Taxi Driver. We better make her older, give her a new actress. She's the only one who grew up. She's the only one. Alright, and then we move forward. Okay. A bunch of Eastern Europeans take over
A prostitution ring, essentially.
A North African prostitution ring. Chase away everybody.
With guns in the middle of the streets of France.
They just murder them, like, outright, and then just and then just push their bodies aside like they despawn. Like they don't even reference the bodies.
They show the bodies on the ground, and it's like we're just supposed to accept that they're there.
With AK-47s in like the open street, and like I might mention that the opening scene after the city setup is it just says sex shop, and then everyone's out in front of it, and then they get murdered, and then no cops come. But then they change like the guard pretty much, and then
the guard of prostitutes,
and then they just cut to bodies dragged away into the corner that nobody seems to notice, which is a lot like NPCs act in Skyrim when like I accidentally kill somebody and I'm like, I'm gonna drop you into the bridge because you're cluttering my city, and nobody notices. And then we cut 15 years later to the transporter hanging out with his awesome dad, Ray Stevenson. Yes, we Googled it. The only one who mattered to us in the movie, and basically Ray Stevenson's quest for Putinini. That was the entire
and
movie.
fine wine,
and
spending time with his son because he loves
spending time with his son, and then letting his son awkwardly watch as he has a three-way.
That was God. Props to Ray Stevenson.
Yeah, he got cock-blocked twice in that movie. Once by the other prostitute. Once by his son waking him up before he could get his morning jollies. Because he was planning on it.
Of course.
He woke up and he was so shocked, and the girl's like, where are you going? And he's just like, sorry, babe.
My son tossed me my shirt, I guess. That means I need to get rope now.
It's time to go back to the water company. And then, oh, man.
Well, and then let's go to the... They seem to enter a hospital with no problem, steal gas, leave their disguise, and just walk out with a huge canister of gas like it's nothing.
Drugs in Europe.
Well, this isn't Amsterdam.
There's like, whatever. Who doesn't have a weird...
Who doesn't knock out other doctors?
That was a great stamp pun. Great. And then when a fog machine goes off, I've never been in a club that has it come out in the bathroom.
Or the main offices.
But maybe Europe's different. But I know sometimes when I'm like doing my taxes or important business filings, I'm like, you know what does make this good? It's a laser show and some fog right in the middle of my office next to my important equipment.
I'll just take some E and I'll make sure my bills are paid.
These numbers are going to match.
And I'll rock out to my EDM music to fog and lasers. Oh, wait. Now this fog has been replaced by a gas that was stolen from a hospital.
No, the prostitutes are going to steal my info. Prostitute thieves. Highlight of the movie, possibly Ray Stevenson.
Again.
Getting blood on his jacket. Also, he's supposed to be poisoned and just goes along with it. He's like,
he doesn't give a shit. He was like, oh, they've catched me and poisoned me. They're pretty.
He's like, oh yeah,
maybe I'll get some strange out of this. Who knows?
My wife's dad, I used to be a water company employee in some very dangerous areas. Not at all James Bond. Let's just go hang out here.
And you know what? For being a water employee company, he knew pretty well how to work controls in a private jet, if that's what we're calling it.
I think water company was supposed to be code for MI5.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case as well. But,
or is that the Tom Cruise movie? Is it MI6?
MI6 is Tom Cruise. But
I meant the British intelligence. Whatever.
Yeah, it's... I guess he would know how to work a private jet like that, maybe.
He was totally a spy.
Yeah, totally.
Spies know how to do everything. You see how well he wore the captain outfit?
He knew how to rock it. But, yeah, that did go along strangely with everything.
He was just like, whatever. And they don't even show him getting kidnapped the second time. And he's supposed to be like a highly trained spy. He saw him fighting later. Apparently he was like walking up some steps.
Yeah, and there's like,
and they like instantly got his phone. So like he would have just had to walk up to the top of the steps and just hand his phone over and been like, and then like had some Grey Goose and gone home. You guys aren't as hot as my last captors, but I like being just a foil.
I'm experimental these days.
Whatever, it works. And then
but then these they orchestrated this grand plan. The prostitutes trying to be non-prostitutes orchestrated this grand plan to that somehow knew that the transporter and the prostitute's pimp, who is this huge crime lord, somehow they knew that they were old army buddies.
Everybody knew they were old army rival, not the same platoon, kind of the same platoon. He was a driver.
Right.
He was bad guy.
Well, no, they knew because everyone knew because they read the script. Apparently, they got their hands on the script beforehand.
Well, he'd been around for 5 years, so
right.
Who's read about it in the paper? Came out afterwards, like, what happened? Water company found with dead prostitutes, Russian mobsters, suspicious amount of semen everywhere. Ray Stevenson.
So basically, yes, a lot of the plot points of the movie don't make sense.
If you're gonna shoot 2 people, you're probably gonna shoot the third, unless she was strangled and then they both shot each other. Which doesn't make sense since it was the same caliber gun.
I know.
But that was like all in the beginning. They like hit us with all the dumb stuff right at the beginning. They like numbed our brains for everything that was going to happen later, which was at least nice of them to like let us know that we were going on a ride where things didn't make sense. But it was the Stubble Wars of 2010. Everyone who had a speaking role that wasn't hot had stubble, or just looked suspiciously dirty, greasy, like Eastern European.
That's exactly it. It's very stereotypical to the point where
it was almost like 2010, where everything still was in stereotypes, and we hadn't become the enlightened culture we are today.
Where a prostitute can pay a bunch of thugs on the street, who all happen to be African American, to hold a captain at gunpoint in a hotel room
for just straight cash.
Straight cash. How did these prostitutes get so much money through all this?
They had to have been high-class prostitutes.
Had to have been, and just turning so many tricks.
That everybody had. Also, I have to look up how much an SSS Audi cost from 2010 real quick, because he blows up one like it's nothing. And that had to have been at least the cost of the job. That's why you drive dirty cars. I mean, you don't go in there with a... Audi S5 starting at 62,000.
Oh, so not just $62. $62. Oh, okay.
No. There's also 220 if you wanted to know. That's important to make it look real.
Yeah, but
so he at least plus his weird mods where he had everything automated. That would have probably been like what, 40 grand plus his cop GPS tracker. That could have been
a steering wheel that detects his fingerprints.
We're talking at least 150.
And he had 2 of them.
And he had 2 of them. And and he blows it out like it's nothing. He's like, they're not going to get anything from this. They're not going to be able to trace that technology that's clearly specialized in my vehicle since I did it all myself. Let me just blow that shit up.
You know what? He just said he had to change. There's no reason. He went from one black Audi to another dark-colored Audi.
Another dark Audi. Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be like a small, like, moped food truck. Where they all had to, like, hug each other.
It was just going to be a smart car, like, guys following.
Come on.
That's how I get my getaways done.
The next transporter is going to be about a Google car that goes rogue.
Oh, my God. I will only watch the next transporter if Ray Stevens is in it again.
Yeah.
And he is the main character.
I really missed the detective from the previous movies.
The detective in the previous movies was fun.
I feel like Ray Stevenson had his exact haircut and stubble to replace him as a father figure. Because they were like, no, he wouldn't go after the detective twice. And the detective totally doesn't have enough gang to pull 2 high-class prostitutes at once. Or how to use sugar and cobwebs.
But one can dream.
One could dream. Yeah. I mean, if you replace Ray Stevenson with a detective, it's pretty much the same. But then we wouldn't have the father and son.
No.
We wouldn't have the this time it's personal line that you can easily attach to this movie.
Oh. I'm surprised they didn't toss that line in there.
This time it's personal. Well, it's not 1998 anymore. One can dream.
No.
It's only 2010.
It was 1998 in the jump forward. It was 95, and they passed 98 at some point.
Man, those awkward cuts so you could tell that they were the same people even though they had just gotten haircuts and no age treatment.
Yep.
That was the best. I mean,
This movie assumes we're dumb.
It really does.
That's such a. And I think that's what bothers me the most of it.
Action movie.
Yeah. So that's Transporter.
Are we missing anything?
No, that's Transporter. It's a mindless action movie where the best part is Ray Stevenson and the shots.
Yeah, there's some great lighting in it, though. I like the color cues.
I include that in with the shots. I feel like lighting is part of the shots. But yes.
I mean, I actually noticed it while I was bored watching the movie.
That's
I was
true.
like, oh, look, colors.
Yeah. All right. Well, once again, we went through our contact information, so thank you again for listening. Tyler, thank you for joining me on this podcast.
You're very welcome. I hope next time it's not a Transporter movie.
Okay, we'll try to get you in on some other time. Hopefully, Chris will be in on this one.
Chris will just be like, going to Germany again
To drink cheap beer.
drink cheap beer and crush it.
Crush it.
Crush it.
All right. Thank you again.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.